Oh, hello there. Greetings. We are here live with The Binding of Isaac Repentance. And this is a game that I am not tremendously good at, despite having played it for, like, I don't know, 10 years at this point. I mean, the new expansion is just insanely difficult, but... Anyway, I haven't streamed the game in quite a long time. I had to relearn how to use all the streaming software, but we're here. And we're gonna try doing some Binding of Isaac. I'm not sure about the audio levels, so please do let me know if you're in the chat how the audio levels are. They're kind of just set up from last time. But yeah, I mean, may as well just jump right into it once I figure out how to... Oh, hello, Krim. Thank you for letting me know. So... The progression that I've made on this game has not been tremendous, despite having played it a long time. You're going to see my win streak of -32. Not great. It could be a lot worse, granted, but... so, you know, we've got... I've beat the first new boss, which is the little dagger there. Oh, you're here to give me performance anxiety. No, don't worry about it. I'm not anxious about anything. It's actually nice to at least have somebody who's here. Because, you know, talking to myself, I mean, I'm going to end up doing that anyway, but nonetheless. So, as I was mentioning, there's that dagger there, and so I've done that for, like, the first few characters, but, not most of them. And then I've unlocked some of the alternate characters, but I haven't played ever as any of them. I was kind of just thinking I would unlock them all first, and then try these tainted characters. I know that they're fun, funky versions of themselves, but I don't really know what they do. But nonetheless, I hate, by the way, this, if you're familiar with the game, these two, I've literally just tried to beat the game as normal with these two, and it's extremely difficult. So anyway, what I thought we would do here is just do a random run on hard mode where I'm inevitably gonna fail a million times, and we'll give the game a shot. We'll see what sticky note goal I actually need to go for. So if we're playing as Samson, that means I've already done the first new boss. I don't even know what they call them. I think in this run I have to go for Dogma and unlock the alternate character. So that's what we'll give a shot. And that was just already a horrible damage, but nonetheless. Okay, so I also haven't played like many of the base characters in a long time too. For the longest time with Isaac, I was just... Oh, let's see if we can get this. What? Nope. For the longest time with Isaac, I was just playing as either Isaac or as Eden. And, which is like, you know, the random character gives you random items at the start of every run. And, I never really got the chance to, like... Well, I mean, I had the chance, but I just never wanted to play with the other base characters. I need to turn my volume down. Hold on. There we go. That's a little better. I can hear my own voice. And, anyway, so, you know, the strategies for a lot of these characters, like I'm thinking about Blue Baby, I'm thinking about the Lost, Keeper, right? Like, I managed to get all the sticky notes for the characters, and then by the end it was, I was done with them. I never touched them again. So someone like Samson, you know, I know recently that, like, I played with them again recently, where you want to try and rack up as much damage as you can on the floor, and then, you know, he'll have increased damage for the rest, but... I still have to get into the swing of things. You forget a lot of the micro, the meta strats. Okay, well, we'll see what this is. Slipped rib. Fine with slipped rib. It's not an offensive item, which isn't great, but, that's fine. Now, Mom's Pearl, I believe, gives you more spirit hearts, if I'm remembering correctly, and then Isaac's Heart will give you more red hearts. And I think more red hearts is better with Samson, or Child's Heart, I guess this is called. We'll try and see if there's a secret room here. There is not, so I'll pick up that Eternal Heart before we leave the floor. Hopefully I remember. So anyway, I don't know. I've been enjoying Repentance. I think it's expanded the game in a lot of interesting ways, and obviously the new bosses are really unique, and these tainted characters are quite the idea. But I actually haven't had the chance to see most of it because I'm just playing the game and dying. So, I don't know, maybe playing on stream is going to give me a little bit more incentive to actually perform well. Although it is a very reactive game. I've streamed a few times for games like oh, what was that game called with the dice? I think it was called Dicey Dungeons. And that's like a, you know, it's a roguelike, but it's turn-based. I can sit there and think through my thoughts, and when I'm streaming, it kind of forces myself to explain my actions out loud. Slipped a rib really came in handy there. When I'm playing something like The Binding of Isaac, it's not so much strategy as it is reacting to the motions of the game. And some of it is muscle memory, like, well, I mean, of course I just said that, but some of it is muscle memory, because you can, you know, I've, like I said, I've been playing this game for close to a decade at this point. But some of it is just really bad, like the way I'm performing right now. Roguelikes are fun for streaming. There's always something to react to. Yes, that is true. Especially if it's something new, right? Like with Hades, when Hades first came out, I was like, oh, look at these new exciting things. And now with Repentance, like I'm going to see a bunch of items I've never seen before, or, you know, stuff like that. But we should see if we can get an item room, or sorry, a secret room. So if it's not there, then it could be here. I think it might be attached to the base room. Yeah, let's try it here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, a nickel never hurt anybody. And considering we have the golden key, we may as well check out the shop. Because, again, it's not going to hurt anyone. If you were to stream Slay the Spire, it would be a stream of let's try this, what the hell. Yeah. Oh, right, we have Curse of the Unknown. So, no use in buying any of this stuff. I am going to pick up this, though. And I think I am just going to run with Mom's Pearl, because I think the Spirit Hearts might just be more handy in general. Yeah, if you... I don't know, I like Slay the Spire because... Well, I don't like Slay the Spire because, it's another game I'm really bad at, but I remember when I streamed it at some point, it forced me to just think through the decisions, because I find with Slay the Spire, I'll just be like, screw it, just do it. And then inevitably I would lose all my runs that way. Whereas when I was actually forced to try and think about what the best decision was, I think I won a few games on stream. But anyway. I know that pills are better in Repentance than they used to be. I haven't played around with them too much at this point. And I'm trying to think about what's the philosophy for using a pill here. I don't think we need this. What is this? I think you get a stats up here when your coins, your bombs, and your keys are equal. I don't think we need that. What the heck was I just saying? Oh, see, this is how it works now. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Play the Spire. Oh, that's it. I lost it. Oh, the pills. I was talking about the pills. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it might be useful to use the pill if we were in, like, a bad spot right now, but I don't want to get hit with, like, some kind of stats down at this point. We would benefit from a tears up, but, like, I think that's pretty much it. We don't really need a health up, although it would be helpful. We don't really need a range up. So, I think we'll just keep it rolling here. See what we get. Okay, so we got another bone thing. I think this one is just, like, an offensive item. Oh, dear. Yeah, let's just pick it up. Pointy rib. Right, so we got slipped rib and we got pointy rib. I wonder if there's any other rib items. That's actually really funny. Okay, so far in the run, we're doing okay. It would be nice if we had... Oh, boy. Okay, yep. It would be nice if we had more damage. I mean, we get damage progressively over the course of the run, but... I think... Yeah, we're at 4 damage. Have we taken damage on this floor? I'm not even sure. Nonetheless. We've got good defense and we have good offense from these 2 ribs that we picked up, which is nice. Well, that was bad. And then from the matchbook, we got what? A black heart. Is that it? What do you get from the matchbooks? A few bombs. So, I don't know. I guess any kind of stats up would really be nice now. These alternate floors that I'm on. Oh, I've just realized I don't even need to be on these alternate floors. Why did I treat myself this way? We're not going for the alternate boss. We're just going for the regular the regular boss, or the regular new boss. So, actually, you know what we should do? I'm going to beat this guy, and then I'm just going to go back to the regular floors. Which is going to be good for me, because I still have a lot to learn about these enemies on these alternate floors. And I definitely... I don't know, I've learned some of them. Like, the bosses, I've seen all of them at this point, I think. Many of the enemies, but it's definitely a harder floor. Especially for... Oh, because it's more recent. Okay, we got to deal with the devil. Here's the thing. Let's get this. If we just leave, then we have a 33% chance of an angel room. I believe we're at 4 hearts now with that stem cells. And, you know, devil deals are worse these days. I'm going to say let's skip the devil deal. We'll try and get an angel room. And then I couldn't go back to the main floor yet. I have to wait until the end of this one, which is fine. Okay, this is interesting. We don't need 10 bombs. We don't need these split bombs, so I guess we'll take the random item. Monstro's lung is pretty good. That's the damage up we were looking for. We don't need to worry about this, because we already beat that. Don't need to worry about that. All right. Now we're in, like, a much better, maybe much better spot, if I could not take silly damage. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. There we go. Yep, okay, there we go. Now we're fine. It just takes a little bit of adapting. It's alright. So, anyway, yeah, I figured streaming Repentance would be a great idea. Because it's kind of the only game I have installed on my PC that I'm actually playing at this point that isn't multiplayer. There's a lot of games that I'm playing, like Valheim, Minecraft at a certain point. I haven't touched that in a while. And then I have, like, other games like Hitman. But I don't think my PC would be able to handle streaming Hitman 2. I would love to do that one day. But, I don't know. Maybe I should actually try streaming it. Running it through OBS. Because, sorry, this is requiring some brain power right now. Because, like I said, this is not a muscle memory boss. There we go. Thankfully, we have the damage from Monstro's lung there. Anyway, one day I would like to stream Hitman 2, because I think that would be a really fun game. There's a lot of wacky stuff that happens. You know, different ways of getting the assassinations, and I'm also trying to get, like, all of the challenges in that game done, which is going to take a long time. So maybe if I can do some of it on stream, that would be good. But as it stands, I don't think my PC is powerful enough to actually stream it. It almost struggles to even play the game. So, yeah, anyway. You have no idea what's happening most of the time, but it's fun to watch. Yeah, that's kind of the case with The Binding of Isaac. You know, there's a lot of mechanics that... This is one of those games that requires you to, like, be a part of the community, or else you're not going to learn any of it on your own. Like, I remember when I first started playing Enter the Gungeon, there were, like, these secret rooms, and... I don't know, there was, like, an alternate floor that you had to get to by activating a lever that was hidden behind a fireplace, and then you had to put out the fireplace with a water barrel, and then you just happened to go behind the fireplace and click the E button to enable the alternate floor. I was like, in a million years I could have played this game and I never would have figured out how that worked, and I only figured it out because I was, like, Googling things. That's what The Binding of Isaac is. Like, it's definitely a game built around community involvement and getting to know how the game works. So anyway, yeah, I don't blame you for not knowing what's going on. Hitman would be cool. Chat would have some funky murder ideas. Yeah, I mean, that's even the game itself has some really good suggestions about what you could do to murder people, like, which is kind of morbid in some ways. But I do like some of them. Like, I think one of them is, like, just to drop a toilet on people and stuff like that. And then they don't give you any guidance about how to do it. So you gotta go find the toilet. You gotta find the roots of the people that you're trying to kill and how you would manage to get the toilet on top of them. I think there would be a lot of fun in that. Usually I end up just looking up a guide because I have no idea how to get anything done. But it's fun nonetheless. I wanted to be good at Enter the Gungeon, but it was too much. It is too much. Like, I love Gungeon. Like, the what is this? 120 volt I don't know what that did. You see, this is one of those things. I have no idea what the item I just got was. Oh man, I'm low on health. This is scary. Yeah, Gungeon, sorry. You know the game that I liked was Nuclear Throne? Oh, I'm gonna die. That's it. I gotta be on my toes here. I liked Nuclear Throne. I like this idea of, like, lots of bullets and, you know, quick on your toes. That's it. I'm done. That hurts. I had Monstros long. That's a good item. All right, we're gonna try again. Hold on. Let's find our footing here. Okay, Lazarus. I haven't played as Lazarus in ages. I have no idea. Okay, right. I remember. You want to, like, die early so that you can get the bonuses. What was I saying? Oh, man, I forget already. Oh, right. Yeah. So I like Nuclear Throne. I like Enter the Gungeon. Like, I like those concepts. Don't get that yet. But I'm also really bad at them. You know? Like, Nuclear Throne, I put, like, I don't know, 60 hours into that game. And I unlocked, like, 2 characters. Like, I never really made it that far. And it was the same with Enter the Gungeon. Like, I think I beat that game, like, once or twice. And there's so much more. There's so many characters and everything, but I was just so bad at it that I was never able to find my footing, even after, like, dozens of hours of playing it. Whereas with The Binding of Isaac, at least I was able to develop the knowledge for the game and learn the patterns and everything. I think it's a little easier to play than something like Gungeon. I enjoy bullet hells, but bullet hell and twin stick shooter, my brain is too small. Yeah, that's definitely fair enough for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've played very many bullet hell games that aren't twin stick shooters, like Nuclear Throne, Enter the Gungeon. I think that's about the bullet hells I've played, to be honest. I think that's very much a... I mean, I don't know. I guess I've played some top-down, like, space shooters. Is that bullet hell? I guess it would be. There's, like, the intro to Nier Automata that I played. Which, I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I don't know. I know the most recent bullet hell that everyone's talking about is Returnal, which is that PlayStation exclusive. And it sounds cool. Like, I would love to be able to play that if I had a PlayStation. It sounds right up my alley. Besides the whole play for 3 hours and don't have a save anywhere in that spot. That, you know, that's kind of sucky. But besides that, I mean, the game sounds great. And I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe I should be looking more into some other bullet hell stuff. Ikaruga? Is that how you pronounce it? I remember that game. Yeah, wasn't that on, like, Xbox Live Arcade or something like that? I think I had a family member who had that game, or maybe I had it. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that was like a top-down space shooter, wasn't it? Where you were in a plane and anyway. Okay, so we're at a point now where we want to die, so I'm gonna just try and hurt my... There we go, and then go through. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want, and then we'll pick up whatever this item is called. I've already forgotten. Martyr? What? Stigmata. That's it. So we got the health up. There we go. Okay, so we should have the damage up from dying now. Yeah, ain't that a mood here? Yeah. Pandemic's got you down. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, bullet hells. Yeah, so anyway, this is definitely a game that's like... You got, like, this whole thing with maximizing your damage by killing the character so that you get the new life for the character that has more damage, and then you want to save the HP up until you've died. Like, that whole process, you would never learn it until you've played, like, dozens of hours. Okay, experimental treatment. I think we can do this. Like, I don't know. Our speed is good. We could go for some tiers up, but we have good damage and speed. So what do we want out of this? We want health. We want luck, maybe. How's our range? Pretty good. I don't know what experimental treatment is going to do for us. Yeah, forget it. I'll take it anyway. We'll do it in the name of Zane. Okay, what did we get? Okay, we lost shot speed and luck, but we gained health and everything else. Well, that was a win. Holy moly. Okay. Don't have any bombs, so we can't go for the secret room. And okay, I have to actually... Oh, here. Okay, so the question is, are we going for the main route or the alternate route? I'm going to go on the main route just because my mind is also on streaming. And I think the alternate route might just screw me up. You're bleeding on the floor. Yeah. There's some thematics around this. Like, Lazarus has a second life, and then he has creep that he leaves on the floor. This game has a lot of, like, Christian themes, if that's what you want to call it. A lot of, like, I don't know, there's like a word for it, but case in point, we got Book of Belial here, which I think I'll take. I think Book of Belial is better in this case. So anyway, yeah, like, this game has a lot of these religious subtexts, and, or I guess they're not really subtext, they're just kind of overt about it. And, I grew up in a Christian household, not with my parents, but with my grandparents. And so, you know, I've been to church, and I've learned some of the stuff, but I miss out on most of what this game will reference, and how the flavor of someone like Lazarus is integrated into the game, considering its Christian background. There is some pretty fun stuff in this game. Like, if you, you know, the whole story is about how Isaac's mom is a religious zealot. Is that the word? Or like a overly religious to the point of it being a negative thing. And if you use the Bible against the mom fight, she just automatically dies. Like, there is no fight to be had. She just instantly is demolished, which sounds great when you're first starting the game until you learn how to do the mom fight, and then you can easily do that fight without taking any damage. But I don't know, there's fun stuff like that. Lazarus was the dude resurrected by Jesus, so the dying to gain strength is very on brand. See, this is good intel. Yeah, that's, I don't know, one of these. I wonder if anybody out there has made like a video about what Edmund McMillen has done with this game. I'm a big fan of his, the guy that made this game. Like, every time he does an interview about, well, really anything, he inevitably talks about game design. And he has a really good mind for it. Like, he's always like, I just want to design things. And he talks about, you know, his upbringing and how that influences the games that he's made. And, I don't know, he always has, like, really cool things to say about it. So, hold on, what are we doing here? I'm going to take this Spirit Heart to protect my Devil Deal chances. And hopefully I won't lose the Spirit Heart along the way. So anyway, yeah, like, I know the creator of this game grew up in a very overtly Christian household, and so that's where a lot of the themes for this come from. I can guarantee you there's a 3-hour deep dive into all of the references somewhere. Yeah, there must be, right? Like, especially with all the new expansions coming out. I mean, it's been a couple of years since this... What am I trying to say here? We had a recent release of an expansion, and then it's been many years before that one, since the one before that. But yeah, I imagine there's a lot of cool things to dig into with this game. So maybe I should watch that, you know, as somebody who's been playing it for way too long. I was actually thinking about that recently, like, games that I've been playing for way too long. In a positive way, but, you know, I had someone recently ask me if they should buy the Java edition or the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. And then I was like, thinking about it, I was like, I mean, I've played Minecraft recently, and I have been playing Minecraft for like a decade, on and off. I think my first time playing the game was in 2011, 2010, something like that. I was in middle school, and now it's like 10 years later, and I'm still playing that game. And people are still like, hey, I'm going to play this game for the first time. Like, that's wild. How we can get so much longevity out of this. Anyway. Okay, we got a Devil Deal. I don't have another +1 life. I have a lot of Spirit Hearts. But I don't think that's going to last me very long. Angel rooms are just better in Repentance right now, so we're just going to try and get another angel room. And I think that's all we need, right? We got the item room. We don't need the shop. So I think we're good. Yeah, let's just keep going here. We're going to try and do this Dogma fight, which I've only done like twice and have never beaten, so hopefully I don't really know how the fight works. Hopefully we'll just get a build that is good against it, because I don't know how to build for it. Not that I have much choice in the matter, but... love how big Minecraft has got, all the new updates and changes. Yeah, even I like to log in and build a house sometimes. Yeah, it's amazing how, I don't know, like, I think that's one of the purest examples of, like, a game that can last forever, you know? Like, it's just it's a sandbox game that never really gets old, and, you know, like, it's been a decade, right? And they keep updating the game. They have, like, 150 million monthly active users or something stupid like that. Like, I don't know, it's a great game. I remember, oh, geez, I hate these stupid flies. I take more damage from these things than anything else in this game right now. Look at that. I took, like, 4 hits from those stupid flies. Here we go again. Hold on, I need to focus while I fight these things. Just dodge and move. Dodge and move. Come on now. Okay, there we go. Shelby has 2 little siblings. They're like, I don't know, 8 and 10 or something like that. And her younger brother had gotten a 3DS recently for Christmas, maybe, because he wanted a Switch, but they were like, you're a little young for that. Let's get you a 3DS. And he had Minecraft on there, and so he ended up really loving Minecraft. And then Shelby's older sister gave him a gaming PC. It was like a hand-me-down, and you know, one of the first things that he bought was Minecraft. It's like, you know, with all these kids now who are playing Fortnite, and I guess Roblox is a big game these days. And Roblox has been a big game for a long time, but I don't know. I just feel like it's cool how my childhood was Minecraft, and then here I am as an adult watching him playing the same game, and it's like, it's still cool, you know? It's not like he's playing a retro game or anything like that, and it lasts for a long time. I have a big appreciation for Minecraft in that way, and how, like you were saying, like, I can still go back into that game and just do something, you know? You just hang out for a little bit. I've been playing it with friends, and that's always a good time. It's a really good chill, like, hangout game. And I think they added, like, the finish of that game. You know, it's called The End. And, like, I don't know, 6 years ago, something like that. And I still have never seen it. Like, all of my time in Minecraft is just spent, like, hanging out building stuff and never actually making any progress until I get bored with that world, and then I start a new one. Minecraft is fantastic because it has all this depth, but all of it is completely optional. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. You can skip all the lore or meta or redstone and still have hours of fun. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, there's so many different aspects of the game that you can just choose what you're interested in. And then in my case, like, even the progress bit can just be totally ignored. And then, you know, even then, like, if you just want to be creative, you just go into the creative mode and build something fun. Only ever built houses in it. Hello, Raven Dark, by the way. Never played any mode other than creative. There you go. Look, I'm preempting all of the messages before I even read them. Yeah, I think creative is really cool. My problem with creative is that I'm bad at being creative. You know what? I'm going to go do this challenge room. How do I say? When I make a house, it's usually just like a stone cube, and I'm like, hey, that looks good. And I can usually justify it in survival, because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have the resources to make anything fancier. But if I'm in creative, I don't have that excuse. And so, you know, when I make the square cube in creative, everybody's like, why does this look so bad? You have such other things, interesting things to work with. So I like survival in that way, because it kind of just limits my options, and then I have a justification for it. Yeah. Anyway, that's literally the way I operate in Minecraft. Like, I go exploring for, like, or last long enough to get all the tools that I need, and then just dig up a bunch of dirt and stone and be like, this is, and wood, I guess, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to make my houses out of. Yeah, I'm not very good at the whole design thing. Cute build videos on Minecraft for ideas. Yeah, that's always what I do, is I'll do, like, every time I start a Minecraft world, I'll be like, I'll go into Google Images, and I'll just write, like, cool Minecraft houses. And then I scroll through all the ones that are too complicated. And eventually I find one that is just insanely, like, simplistic, but still looks nice. And without any kind of guide or anything, I'll just eyeball copy it. And that's been great for me. Like, I've always been a fan of, like, hey, somebody else has this really cool idea, I'm just going to steal it. Obviously not for profit, just for for my own tastes. Because like I said, like whenever I try and come up with my own ideas, it never works out. I don't know. I'm not the creative type. Which is weird because I'm in the creative arts. Like I just got my degree in theater, which would mean that you would hope that I was a bit of a creative, but you know, in my degree, I just ignored all of the design. Like I did admin and I did the tech parts. And I ignored like, ooh, let's design a cool lighting area for the stage. Every time I tried to do that, they would be like, why did you choose these colors? And I would say, stop judging me. I don't know what I'm doing. And then don't even think about like costume design or anything like that. Oh my god, bless my costume teacher who in first year like was teaching a bunch of people who had no idea what the heck they were doing. And in 11 weeks, she taught me how to sew. And I was doing actually pretty good in that class, I'll tell you what. Oh god. The final project that I handed in was not great, but she still gave me a good mark because she was like, you're learning, and that's what's important. And I was like, hell yeah, costume professor. We had somebody in my program who actually had a degree in fashion, so she was like there for the costuming. And, you know, she just really wanted to get into theater. And I have a feeling that her and I were not graded on the same scale because she could have just, you know, this person with the fashion degree, she could have just like made the bare minimum in like 2 seconds and gotten the grade. But I'm thinking she might not have gotten the grade because the teacher knew she had this degree, and you know, in the end she ended up making like some fancy hat that nobody in the class would have been able to make. So I'm sure, you know, there was some equilibrium there, but yeah, I think my final project I had to make like a pencil case or something like that. And in the end, it looked horrible. Like, it looked actually terrible. And I used it for a really long time. Because I was like, I made this. I'm proud of my skill of learning this, how to make this pencil case. People always assume that because I draw, I'm also manually creative. Meanwhile, I cannot cut fabric in a straight line. Yeah, that's always kind of the way it is, isn't it? It's not necessarily a transferable skill. It's always a handy thing to... Yeah, well, that was an inevitable damage, wasn't it? It's always a handy thing to know, right? The whole sewing thing. You know, if you ever, like, lose a button. I learned how to replace a button in class. I think that's a handy thing to know. I took some old jeans that didn't really fit me anymore. They were too long on my legs. And so I like... Hold on, I think I need to use my hands for this. The pants were too long. I don't even know how to visualize this. I don't have pants on me. Never mind. I thought I could use my hands and it didn't work. The legs of the pants were longer than my actual legs. And so I had to like chop them off and then re-hem them, I think is what you call it, when you re-hem something. No, I have pants on. I don't have them like around. Oh, geez. Yeah, I realize how horrible that sounds now. Anyway, I had to chop off the legs of the pants and then re-hem them, and then they fit me all of a sudden. I learned how to do that. I think that's pretty cool. I'm wearing pants, I promise. I'll stand up if I need to prove it. Ravendark, I'm physically creative, but I can't draw for toffee. One of the biggest disappointments of my life. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I don't know, like, I've always kind of been bad at, like, most creative things, like, in general. I'm not a good artist. Keep it family friendly. I'm not a good artist, like, drawing things. Even just, like, coming up with creative ideas. I always just appreciate what other people do more. You know, I watch a movie and I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to come up with that in a million years. So I'm just going to sit here and say how cool that is. So, anyway, yeah. I mean, and I guess that does kind of line up with my degree. Like, I went for technical theater, and my job as a technician is to make the actors look as good as possible and make theater come to life. So, I guess that kind of lines up. My mom is so talented, she could sew just about everything, shoes included. Guess those jeans do not transfer very well. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you were at my grad party, then you heard my mom talking as well. Like, she is an artist. Like, she went to school for it. And she's always been very expressive with her heart. Sorry, with her art. I guess with her heart as well. But she, like, you know, around our house, around the apartment, she's got, like, art all over the place, hanging from the walls, and, you know, she's got, like, this tortoise made out of terracotta, and, you know, she worked with charcoal a lot, and, oh gosh, what else does she have around the house? I don't know, she was just always doing, like, these fun projects. What is happening here? What the heck is that? Okay, it's just an infinite troll bomb. Well, that would have been nice to know about. Jeez. Pretty cool. I don't think there's a secret room around here, though, so it's not all that helpful. Anyway, my mom has, like, all of this stuff hanging around the apartment, and it's been great. Like, when I was living there, it was really cool to have such, like, a creative living room. But none of that passed down to me. Like, none of it. Even my dad was a little bit creative. He didn't really do much drawing as an adult, like, when I was alive. But when he was a teenager, like, I saw some of his drawings, and, like, he did, like, this painting for school and stuff like that of Spider-Man that he kept in the garage for a long time. I didn't get any of that. I was just... I don't know. I've always been a very... I don't know, what's the opposite of artistic? If there is an opposite, I guess. Just not creatively inspired. I enjoy wood carving. Oh, okay. Mostly abstract spoons and some bowls. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any pictures, Ravendark? I'd love if you could send some. I don't, I was in, set construction class in school. By the way, I have no idea how this run is going. I've just been on autopilot this entire time. I didn't even use Book of Belial for that fight. I think we're doing okay. I mean, I would love some more health. Anyway, I was in set construction class, and they had the, what do you call those things that you used to make the wood carvings with? Not the ladle. The, you know, it, like, spins. Oh, geez. You'll tell me. It's a tool for wood carving. We had one of those in the shop, anyway. And so we had, and you have to use, like, the knives to cut into it. We had a few people in the class actually using that and making some things out of wood, which was pretty cool. That construction class was actually one of the places where I got to be a little bit creative. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can show you something I made. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back here. So in our set construction class, we had a project to, like, make something. And usually you have to make something out of wood. And so my idea was I was going to make bookends. And so Shelby really loves weenies, wiener dogs. And so I made her these bookends of a wiener dog. Hold on, I have to position this. There we go. Oh, there's like a bow on his head. Hold on. There we go. So I made this, and then she can put her books in between. And so she's using it back there right now. That was like my... That's what we call them. The wiener dogs, we call them weenies. They're very cute. Anyway, so that's like the most creative thing that I've ever made. And I was really happy with it, like, before I painted it. And then I went to the teacher. I was like, do I have to paint this? Because I know I'm going to ruin it. And he said, yeah, you have to paint it. So I painted it, and it's not great. But, you know, I made that thing out of wood. It's pretty cool. I was pretty proud of myself. And then that's pretty much where I ended it. After that point, we had to make, like a theater flat, which is, you know, if you're going to have a background in a theater piece on stage, then you need to have, like, something. And usually, like, so if it's a backdrop, it could be made out of canvas. But if it's something that actors are going to interact with, then you want it to be wood. And so, you know, that's what we call it, flat. And I think film uses it as well. And so, you know, we had to make a flat, and I ended up making, like, this big green arcade machine. But it was bad. Like, the wood carving was not that bad, but the painting was really, really bad. I'm so bad at painting. Yeah, thanks. It's I don't know. I had a lot of fun with those wiener dogs. So, I don't know. Yeah, like, I liked working with my hands. But the painting bit, I was always bad at. I don't know. I think I should have been better at painting, considering how much my mom actually did do painting. I realized I never showed you the first Twitch emote I ever made. Oh, okay. Hold on. I think I have to get closer to this to see it. It's so small on my screen, I can barely even... Hold on, I think I have to go to my channel here so I can actually see it. Oh no, it's not going to load. And you should send it to me through Discord so I can actually see it. I mean, it looks cute, but... so small on my screen, I can't see it. Oh shoot, I just used that key for no reason. Okay, well, we're getting an angel room this floor, which is going to be good. As long as I don't lose the spirit heart. And also, I need to get a trinket, like, really badly, or else this entire run will have been for nothing. Okay, yeah, let's deal with this. I don't know, what else have I made? Like, when I was in middle school, I did some paintings. Or not some paintings, some drawings. You know, in art class. We had to do, like, a portrait of ourselves on the first day, and then we learned how to draw, and then we had to do a portrait of ourselves on the last day. And we would see the differences. I think my differences weren't that large, to be honest, from what I remember. I don't know, we did some paintings there, but, like, that's kind of it. Like, I never took any art classes in high school. Oh, geez. Well, there we go. There goes my angel room. Looks like I have a 50% chance now. What are we on? We're on depths. We need a trinket, like, really bad. Can I find one in the shop, maybe? Yeah, let's try and find one in the shop. I'm taking horrible damage. Anyway, yeah. Middle school was a time, wasn't it? Spent 2 years in middle school. It was nice. I lived, like, right down the street from the school. It was the first time I got to walk myself to school. I don't know. They were pretty formative years, I would say. It was the first time I got to go to school with my best friend. Because we were always at separate schools. Please tell me, is one of these a trinket? Is that eraser a trinket? I have no idea. I don't think it is. No, I think the eraser is something else. I'm going to take this. Need a trinket really bad. I guess we have to go to the challenge room if we're going to try. Because I think this is my last opportunity to get a trinket. I might be able to get it next round. Or next floor. But otherwise... Oh, there's a trinket. Let's go. Just as I was talking about it. So... What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, middle school. I don't know. I had a good time in middle school, I think. In general, I've had an okay school life. I know a lot of people that didn't have great school careers. You know, whether it was primary, middle, or high school. But I was always, I don't know, I think I always generally had a good time. I went to the same primary school from kindergarten to grade 8. Let's make sure we drop... Oh, there's a trinket there dropping. Well, we can just leave that there and we'll be fine. Okay. I went to the same primary school from kindergarten to grade 6. And I had a whole bunch of people with me the entire time. Where are we going? I think we're going to go this way. And, you know, other people who joined me in the same year in kindergarten. And then also went all the way to grade 6 with me. So that was pretty nice. I got to have, like, a solid friend group. But then after middle school, like, I never really stayed in touch with any of those people, which is kind of sad. Considering they were such a large part of my life. But I had a good time there. Like, we were all pretty much friends. You know, nobody had beef with each other. It wasn't like there wasn't really any bullying happening or anything like that. We just had a good time. Middle school was fun. My class was very creatively disruptive. Yeah, there's some instances that I've had of some rowdy classes. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like we might have made a teacher cry at some point. Was it middle school? Like, middle school was, you know, middle school is when you start to become an adult. And it was like, who had the idea to just put a bunch of people, or a bunch of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, just a bunch of preteens, basically, you know. They're hormonal and, just, you know, There's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of the word. Anyway, you know, who came up with this idea of just shoving them all into the same school? It was fine for me, but I know that for a lot of teachers, it was a lot to handle. You know, there was a lot of people learning how to live, and that's a tough part of your life sometimes. Our teacher was proud but a little shaken. Oh yeah. oh, hold on. We had to make a Romeo and Juliet play, standard school stuff, and we went full on with costumes and production value, but made it all about gay marriage and equality. Ah, proud but a little shaken. I see. Oh, that's actually really nice. I like that you had the initiative for that. Yeah, we didn't like our middle school didn't have any kind of creative arts program like that. Like nobody we had a gymnasium with a stage on it, but we never did any productions of any plays or anything like that. We were generally more sports focused. And then I went to high school, which was what they call a magnet program in my province, which is basically like you don't have to be designated for that school if you're going to go to the specialized program. So we had a whole bunch of different magnet programs. Where you had a home school, which you were assigned to, but if you wanted to go to the magnet program, you could go to any school, as long as you could find transportation there. And so we had, at my school, we had an arts program. There were other magnet programs, like, one of them was like a advanced learning magnet program, where, you know, if you're really smart, then you go and, you know, do smart things. I think there was one for sports. There was one for... I forget what he was called. I think it was called Fast Track or something like that. Like people who needed help with school and needed like a slower curriculum, you could go there. So anyway, there was just a bunch of options, and I ended up going to the arts school. And there, like, it was like totally liberal arts. Like all the teachers were on board with basically anything. Bunch of kids were writing scripts about stuff, and you know, always these workshops for dance and visual art and drama and singing and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, creatively, I think, you know, the creative part of my life was kind of maximized in high school when I was surrounded by it. But before that, I don't know, I did some drama in, like, primary school. We did some plays. I'm gonna die on this fight. Are you serious? I better not. Our class was an experimental program that gathered all best grades kids from the city, which you would think would be 100% boring nerds, but alas, not really. I see you're fighting the mom. Yes, we are fighting mom now. This is just like the first version of mom. Right, so, okay, so you got a bunch of smart kids and you put them in the room. We had something similar. We, I don't think for middle school, we had it for high school. But yeah, like, from everything I had heard, it wasn't that bad. Like, they, you know, just kind of learned things quicker, I guess, and went through the curriculum much faster, and then, you know, got to do some other fun stuff. I do remember, like, hearing about some of the stuff that they were doing, though, and being like, I could do that, but there's no way in heck I would want to do that. I was very happy with my arts, fancy art stuff. Okay, we beat mom, which means we can go to Dogma. We're not going to beat Dogma, but we're going to try. So I'm going to teleport out of this room. We're going to head up back through these things. Oh, I guess... Okay, technically I didn't need that trinket, now that I think about it. If we even survive Mausoleum... Oh god. Oh god. Here we go. This is not great. This is not a great situation. Okay, there. Yeah, we might not survive Mausoleum. Like, we just don't have a good build in general. But if we do manage to make it up to the Dogma area, then at least we can unlock the tainted version of Lazarus. Come on. Really? Is that how we're gonna do things here? Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so that's I guess that's like a brief rundown of my schooling. When I was in primary school, so my grade 5... Actually, this is a pretty fun story. So when I was in primary school, like I said, same primary school for like 8 years of my life, you always looked forward to the grade 5 teacher's plays. She like, you always knew that when the entire school would put on their little performances, you always looked forward to the grade 5 performance. Sci-Fly is insanely good. Because, you know, she would always invest, like, a lot of class time to her school performances, her drama performances. And, may as well take this. And so, you know, they put the most work into it, so it was always the most entertaining one to watch. And so when grade 5 came around, sometimes you didn't always get the same teacher. Like, usually it was just one teacher per grade, but sometimes it was multiple. And so when I had gone into grade 5, I was really hoping I was going to get her so that we could do these really fun drama performances. And it turned out that I was a very expressive child. As you might be able to tell from me going into the whole podcasting thing. I loved talking, and I loved performing. And so everyone else in the class was generally a little quieter, a little, you know, more nervous, as you might expect from a primary school child. And so I was always cast in the primary roles. We did like 4 plays in a given year, and I was always the main character because I was the only one that would like fully act out the role. And, okay, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna fight our way back up through all the levels now.
It's gone. Just get over it.
I don't remember that audio.
How can you have spent our savings?
Is that mom and dad fighting? I've never heard that. That's really cool. What roles do you remember? Okay, yeah, so the first one was... It must have been the Grinch. Because that would have been Christmas time. So we did the Grinch. There's a longer title for that, isn't there? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And she cast me as the Grinch. And she almost had me wear green tights. And I refused. I don't know if there's photos, but that is a great question. I'm gonna have to ask my mom if there's photos, because I would like to see those myself. I should remember to do that. Remind me later. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find... Yeah, I wish I had photos. I definitely would show you if I had them. Yeah, remind me later. I'll ask my mom if she has any. I know that I have footage of another performance that we did, like video footage of me doing a show where I was whoever the name of Sleeping Beauty's prince is. I guess he's just the prince. It might be, but anyway, I was the prince who had to wake up Sleeping Beauty. I remember that. That's all I remember from when I was in grade 5. But I remember when I was doing Sleeping Beauty, I had to, like, coach my other friend, like, my friends, basically, on how to perform. She would tell, like, the teacher would literally tell me, like, go take this person into, like, the change room of the gym that we were in, and, like, rehearse lines and teach them how to project. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And I would go and I would, you know, tell them how to say their lines cooler. And, okay, there you go, Prince Philip. Yeah, I was Prince Philip. So I had, like, this little crown that I put on, and I had to, like, slay a dragon at a certain point, who was my friend, and, I had, like, the court jester that I would interact with, and, that court jester was actually my dog in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and I was on a sled, and he would just, like, pull me on the sled, and, you know, he was supposed to be the dog. So anyway, I had a lot of fun with that guy because we always had these interactions. Related middle school story. We put a small fairy tale play for local kindergarten kids for which we made a huge papier-mâché elephant on wheels for a prop. That's fun. That thing was majestic. The play was a great success, and then, of course, we rode this elephant down a hill and crashed it. Oh, no. Wow, you did that in middle school? That's actually really funny. No, I mean, I'm sure it was fun to, you know, make something like that, but... Was the crashing of the elephant intentional? Or was it like an accident? Because I could totally see that being an accident for a bunch of middle school kids. But I could also see it being like a really fun thing to do with a bunch of middle school kids. So, I guess either way. And actually, so in high school we had like this deer for Shrek the Musical. And it hung out with us for a really long time. I think it was made out of like burlap or something. And we always joked about how we might destroy it because it was just like a really horrendous looking thing. Somehow accidental. Oh, okay. So, well, that's too bad then. That's sad. But Anyway, yeah, so I remember those two plays from grade 5. But then, what floor are we on? We're on Caves 2. But then when I was in grade 6, I had gone away from that teacher. How do I avoid that? That was an impossible thing to avoid. In grade 6, I move away from that teacher. I get a new teacher who, by the way, I had like this rivalry with. Like, I hated her and she definitely hated me. And,
Cleanse your soul.
you hear that?
You are taking this too far. Did you hear how you sound?
Pray with me. Pray for your salvation. Come, pray with us, Isaac.
I don't know if you can hear that speaking, but that's really cool. I've never heard that. I don't know if you can hear that, Krim, but it's like yeah, it's pretty creepy. Yeah, I think it's mom and dad fighting. I think this is like the story of how he managed to end up in the basement. That's really cool that they added that. Anyway, so I get to grade 6 and my teacher from grade 5 didn't have any performers in the class. Like, they were all too nervous or whatever. Like, they just didn't care, which was most of the time. And she literally like would take me from grade 6 and cast me as the main character in the previous grade. It was like me and another girl who I coincidentally had this crush on. She was doing the Nutcracker for Christmas, and in grade 6 she went and she took me and she took my crush, and we were the two main characters of the Nutcracker. I was like the prince and she was the whoever the girl is in that play. And then, like, the Nutcracker was actually, funnily enough, some guy that I didn't like. So, anyway, there's some fun meta stuff happening at that age. But, yeah, it was like, I would be in, like, math, and then my grade 5 teacher would come in and be like, can I steal him for some Nutcracker rehearsal? My professor would get pretty mad about it because she didn't like me. She'd be like, yeah, fine. So I would go and I would rehearse, and it was actually really fun. But yeah, so that's where I like first found like my acting chops. You know, I loved to perform in primary school, and I wanted to keep that going in middle school, but they didn't do any drama whatsoever. Like, it was all sports. So I ended up going to the arts high school for acting and instrumental, because I learned how to play the bass clarinet in middle school. And, yeah, 100% method acting. Yeah, it was method acting. Because what? The Nutcracker is like the bad guy in that play, right? Or something like that. And, I don't actually remember. I know I was in it. I don't remember a thing about the Nutcracker. I do recall having to do a stage fight with the Nutcracker. So anyway, it was really enticing. It was really fun because at the... Oh gosh, I totally forgot. So... I have distinct memories of this. We're rehearsing the Nutcracker, and in the script it says the prince hugs the girl or something like that, or whatever. The guy hugs the girl, and I was so nervous, or it was like hold hands or something like that.
Your son needs you.
I was so nervous because my crush was the girl that I had to hold hands with, and my hands were getting all sweaty. This is so creepy, dude. I can't talk over this. Anyway, so yeah, I just remember my hands getting so sweaty in like rehearsal. I was like doing this because we had to like hold hands, and then eventually the teacher was just like, okay, don't like just like link arms or something like that. Like, you don't have to worry about doing something. I think she might have known that I had a crush on her, and then like the guy that I didn't like was the guy that I had to have a fight with. So yeah, it ended up working out. I was in a play with my crush at some point as well. I was playing an old prophet with a beard. That's so good. Not exactly romantic comedy material. Yeah, I can imagine how that would be not the greatest situation to put yourself in. An old prophet with a beard. That's really good. Yeah, I never had any roles like that. You know, in primary school, they always want you to do the typical stuff, right? Yeah, so anyway, that was primary school. Then I went to middle school, then I went to high school. Yeah, that's about it. You know, I learned some fun acting stuff in high school. We did like... Oh gosh, I have to pay attention here. Hold on, I'll tell you about my high school acting experience once we figure out what's going on here. Okay, so this is home. For the first time in The Binding of Isaac, they have you going back up. That's what I was just doing. I was going back up through the game, through previous areas that I had already done. And now we're at home. I'm going to get an item here. Or a trinket. Don't really need that trinket. I guess I may as well heal up. And then we're going to unlock... Okay, so we were talking earlier about The Binding of Isaac just having a bunch of hidden things that you're never going to know about. This is one of them. So... I needed to have a trinket, which I left in a boss room. And then when I was starting to go back up into the floors, that trinket converts into a cracked key, which I have to use in this room, unlock this door, and unlock the tainted character. Who the heck is ever going to figure that out? That's something you have to Google. So anyway, I just unlocked a new character, which is pretty cool. And then... Yeah, it's a whole complicated thing. And that's not even, like, the most complicated thing that The Binding of Isaac has done. Like, yeah, I remember one point, like, they did, like, an ARG. Like, something literally in the game was not unlocked until somebody in real life went to some bench in Chicago or something like that and, like, opened something. I was like, what about, like, where do you come up with this stuff? Anyway, yeah, Binding of Isaac gets super complicated. Okay, this is Dogma. I fought this character, like, twice. This is only the first phase. I'm going to have to focus for a little bit here. I might also just die because I have no idea how to do this fight. I've already lost most of my health, so that's not great. I don't like this. Having Sci-Fly is quite nice. Sci-Fly will just, like, automatically block all the bullets that head my way. He's kind of overpowered, I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely not going to win this fight, just because of how little health I have. But, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do some funky thing. Oh, never mind, this is the second phase. And then we're going to have a third phase after this. I'm obsessed with ARGs. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of ARGs. I've seen, obviously, the one for The Binding of Isaac. I can't recall being a part of any other ones. Yeah, I don't know. I can't... Oh, there we go. We died. I couldn't even get to the third phase. Man, oh man. Well, I didn't really get any items in that run that were all that great. You really have to learn how to break the game if you want to win this fight. Or just get extremely lucky. Get, like, Mom's Knife or something. Okay. Let's try again, shall we? At least we unlocked a new character. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Where's Lazarus? Here he is. I know these tainted characters have, like, funky stuff going on with them, and I still have no idea what they do, but... Alright, let's do another random. Okay, Eve is just horrible, but let's roll with the punches. I'm just gonna check if I've already unlocked her tainted version. I have not. Okay, that's good. I've never heard that. That's cool, too. Okay, we got Curse of the Labyrinth, so we're going to want to try and preserve our health for a little bit here. Okay, so in high school, I start learning about, like, proper acting. So, you know, the people who are, you know, Stanislavski and other people. He's the only name that has stuck with me. You know, the acting teachers. I start learning the theory. And then we did some fun stuff. Like, we did Theater of the Absurd, which is when you do theater that just makes absolutely no sense. Like, the dialogue makes no sense. The stuff that you see on the stage is just wild. And it has, like, messaging, like subtext, but I'm really bad at understanding subtext, so I never really understood what was going on. Oh, that's interesting. So anyway, we did this really fun project where we just had to do something of that nature. I'm going to come back for that. And we ended up doing this really fun performance where we just, like, reenacted a bunch of, what do you call them? Like, natural disasters. So instead of it being, like, a traditional, you know, okay, the play has started and we all have dialogue, we did this thing where we pretended as if there was an emergency going off, and we journeyed our class through, like, the various different disasters. So the performance started by one of my group members going in front of the class, and as if they were like a real person, like not as if they were an actor, they were pretending to just be themselves. They said, hey, we're trying to raise money for natural disaster relief in like some random country. Just wanted to let you know about it. And then I forget exactly what triggered it, but at some point the lights just like turned off. And everybody's like, what the heck is going on? And again, I need to like use my hands for this. So there's 4 people in the group, or 5 people. One person is talking to the whole class, and we're all sitting in these auditorium seats. And the lights go off, and the group members who are sitting in the auditorium seats, we go like into the aisles, and we take the seats and we just start shaking them. And like, because they were all like loose, they weren't very well made, and so you start shaking the seats and they all start shaking. And we had some like rumble sound effects going on, and it felt like they were in like an earthquake. People were like, what the heck's going on? We had like a siren going off, and that was like the first one, right? And so then we're rumbling the seats, and then at a certain point, we turn on some flashlights, and that's our only source of light in this, huge auditorium that we had in our high school. And we guide them through like this little side entrance up to the stage. And oh yeah, there we go. And in the little side entrance, which is really squeezed, like you had to fit like 20 people into this tiny little area. They weren't very comfortable. We turned on a giant fan and started spraying spray bottles at them. Just we soaked some people, but that was supposed to be like a rainstorm, I guess, or a cyclone or whatever. Super windy. And then we kept guiding them through, and then we brought them onto the stage where the curtain was closed, so it made it like you couldn't see the audience. And we just... The stage itself had a bunch of crap on it, like there was like chairs and tech equipment, and anyway, every time we wanted to do any kind of performance on the stage, you always had to lug a bunch of stuff off of the stage into the hallway. And so we used that as like debris and guided them through a path where the lights on the stage were like all red, and we had some heaters on and stuff like that, and then that was supposed to be like a fire, a blaze. And anyway, I just remember like guiding them through this, and it was a lot of fun. Like it's not a traditional performance. It was more of an interactive experience that they didn't see coming. They weren't prepared for at all. And anyway, we did fun stuff like that in school. It was a lot of fun. We did that in our final year. In grade 12 drama. And then, I don't know, in other years, like, we kind of just did normal stuff. We did some Canadian theater, which was pretty cool. Shelby actually wrote a script that she got actors for and had perform for the entire school. Yeah, we had a good time in high school. There's a channel on YouTube, Nightmind, that does deep dives on various internet ARGs. Oh, right, the ARGs. Marketing ARGs are just a tip of the iceberg. There's heaps of people that just do it for fun. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Deep dives on various internet ARGs, they're pretty wild. Yeah, I like the idea. I'm not super familiar with ARGs, but if you ever heard of geocaching, would that be considered like a form of ARG? I guess probably not, because what's the digital aspect of that? Not really much, but this idea that there's something out there in the world and you need to interact with it. I think that's pretty cool. I guess ARGs also like aren't necessarily in real life, is it? It's just... What does ARG stand for? It stands for alternate reality game. Oh, okay. Yeah, it uses the real world as a platform. So, yeah, I haven't interacted with them very much, but I don't know. I think they're pretty cool. I would like to... I don't know. We've done some fun stuff like that in theater, like... I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but when I was working in theater, they would do some fun stuff like that, because we had a very strong community in the region that I grew up in, a strong theater community. And so they were able to get away with stuff like that and actually have people care about it instead of it just being some random marketing thing. Some geocaches can tell stories, some can be pretty clever. Yeah. Ingress is an amazing... Isn't Ingress Pokemon Go? Like the people who made Pokemon Go? Or is that am I thinking of something else? Would Pokemon Go be an ARG? No, that's just an AR game, I guess. Alright, let's try these pills. Speed up and range down. Balls of Steel. Let's go. Yes, Pokemon Go was based on Ingress. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking a lot more at those geolocation games because at my work we actually at Sensor Tower we categorize mobile apps and we section them off into various sections, but geolocation AR has its own category, and it's basically just there for Pokemon Go. Like, there's other games, there's Minecraft Earth and stuff like they tried to copy, but okay, this doesn't work like I thought it would. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we have a whole section dedicated to Pokemon Go anyway. It's just such a big game, and the concept is, I don't know, it was a pretty ambitious concept. I remember when Pokemon Go came out, a lot of people were really, I remember like leaving the house and just seeing like groups of people at my local park that I had never seen before. They're all looking down at their phone, and obviously they're playing Pokemon Go. I remember I was also working theater. I went to a theater rehearsal at a university campus, and I leave the campus, and it's just like the field is full of people like I had never seen before. I was like, oh, they must be doing some kind of university event or something. And then I peek over the shoulder of one of the people. They're playing Pokemon. Everybody's playing Pokemon. What the heck? So, anyway, yeah, I mean, I thought when Pokemon first came out, it was so cool. Pokemon Go, I mean. And it's been, I don't know, I feel like it attracts a really good audience, too. Like, Shelby's mom plays Pokemon Go still to this day. She's, like, almost at the highest level or something like that. It's a great idea. Beginning as a Pokemon Go was a glimpse into a truly beautiful world. Yeah, we've lost a lot of that community aspect, at least here in Canada, I think. With the advent of, mobile phones, I guess, is a big part of it, or just electronics in general. Like, there's some really good aspects. I get to reconnect with my best friend because we can play video games together, and I wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. But Pokemon Go really reminded this idea of, like, a community, I was in tune with my community a lot because of theater. Theater in my region was not very commercial. Okay, I mean, that's a bit of a lie. We have, like, one of the biggest theaters in Canada at my hometown. And, like, internationally recognized artists like Lady Gaga will go through, and even people from Toronto will visit my hometown to go to the venue and see these people. But that's, like, that wasn't the common thing, right? Like, in Toronto, the common thing is commercially produced theater. But in my hometown, it was like local theater. I went, like, right down the street from my house was the local theater that I worked at, and it was actually pretty nice because I could just walk home at the end of the day. But anyway, that what was the point of all this? Oh yeah, I was very in tune with the local community, and Pokemon Go kind of reminded me, like, not everybody is, right? This is a new thing for a lot of people, and in some cases with Pokemon Go, you didn't even interact with the community, right? You just did your thing. So, I don't know. Nowadays, you can't do any of that, right? Like, you can do some of it if you socially distance, but we're gonna have to wait a little while longer until people can do their raids. I know that Pokemon Go adapted a lot for COVID. Did they not? I remember them saying, like, they, like, expanded something for the game so that people could play it from home. I don't know if they took that away as time went on. You can do many more things while staying at home, yeah. I remember when the game first came out, man, it's taken me forever to kill these things. Let's go. I remember when it first came out, I was like, when did Pokemon Go come out? Hold on, I gotta check this. When did the original release happen? July of 2016. So it came out 4 days after my birthday in grade 2016. Oh my god, that was 5 years ago. So that would have been grade 12. Oh, okay. And they are keeping it because it's also nice for accessibility. Yeah, that's good. Some people with disabled mobility are very happy with the changes. Yeah, that's a good thing, I think, in general. Like, I don't know, the more accessible you can make your game, obviously, the better. And Pokemon Go, like, I don't know, that was the thing. Like, when it first came out, like, it did force me to get out of the house, obviously, and that was a good thing. But it never really felt like I could play it that much because I didn't leave the house that much. Like, I mostly played video games, and I would go for a walk every now and then or a bike ride or something like that. But I don't know, like, when all of my friends were just constantly outside people and they were playing Pokemon Go and they got so much farther than I did, I just kind of just lost interest in doing anything with the game. My area is a Pokemon desert. Yeah. That is fair. Yeah. I was lucky enough to live in a populous area. I didn't have to worry about it. But actually, my mom's house is a little less populous. You know, there's like a river nearby and stuff like that. It definitely didn't have the Pokemon stops that you would have hoped for. So, yeah, that's the other thing. It was interesting. Like, it's a great game for people who live in the city, right? But what about the people who don't? I don't know. I guess maybe that's something they've expanded in recent years. But when it first came out, I remember that being one of the main complaints. The other thing I didn't like about it was how you couldn't collect everything. I remember some Pokemon were only accessible in certain regions of the world. I was like, I don't like that. Like, I want to have all of them. And granted, it would have been cool if you, like, traveled and then that was, like, a reason to get some Pokemon that you were missing. But not everybody can do that. That's, like, an expensive thing. So, I don't know. Maybe they changed that as well, but... Speaking of traveling, you know what we're talking about recently is, like, I realized, like, hey, I work from home. Like, I work from home. And that's not changing anytime soon. Especially if I do anything with the Observer. Like, I'm going to continue working from home. And Shelby and I have always talked about traveling. Like, that's always been such a huge thing for us. And... we lost... I don't know, at least I did. Apparently Shelby hasn't, but I kind of lost sight of that in the last couple of years. Where it was always like, yeah, we're going to travel, but it's not going to be soon kind of a thing. Like, we're probably going to have to settle and then go on these smaller trips over the course of multiple years. And now it's becoming, like, a little more clear, or I guess, like, a little bit more possible, that we can go live somewhere and live off of the income that I make from working from home. Because it's pretty cheap to live in certain places. Like, if you go move to, like, Thailand or something, I mean, you can't do that right now because of COVID. But once all the vaccines, you know, kick in over the course of this next year, it's becoming very likely that Shelby and I are going to go move somewhere around the world with, like, a really nice view and, you know, super cheap daily living expenses. And we're not going to be able to save very much, but, I mean, we're 23, you know? Like, some people don't start... My parents haven't started saving, and they're, like, 43. Some people are in their 50s, they don't start saving. And then they end up fine in retirement, you know? Not tremendous, but they're fine. And... oh, I totally forgot about this. This is what happens when I don't pay attention. What was I saying? So, anyway, so, like, we're young, and we have the money from this job that we can live in another part of the world. And I think we need to go do that soon, you know? I'm gonna make that happen when world stops being on fire, yeah. Just visit all my friends and work from different places for a month at a time, yeah. Did you ever do that before? Like, how long have you been working from home? How long have you been thinking about that? Because this is something, like, we're actually seriously considering, and, like, we want to talk to people about it. Because, I don't know, just, like... because here's the other thing. Shelby and I have always talked about her going into social work and doing volunteer stuff, like humanitarian work. And part of that is going overseas, right? And so she might not be able to find a job when we're traveling because, you know, obviously it's harder to just find a job. And she doesn't really like working from home. She likes going somewhere to work. But, you know, if we're going, yeah, month at a time, every couple of months going to new places, obviously it's hard to find a job in those places. And so you know, the expectation is that we're gonna just live off of my income, both of us, which should be fine. But the bigger thing is that, like, she's actually gonna be able to go do volunteer work, and hopefully, like, we can choose where we're gonna go based on where she can do that kind of thing. And then when we eventually return home, she's gonna have the experience that she's gonna be able to find a job without necessarily needing to get the degree. Because usually that's what humanitarian work, that's what they're looking for, is like volunteer experience. And even better if it's like in an overseas country, you know, like for us at least, that's such an adventure. And I would love to be able to do some of that as well, outside of just working. So anyway, it's something that we talked about it for a long time, and it was always kind of this very like far off idea. And then now it's becoming a real possibility. Like it's in front of us. We could just go now if it weren't for COVID. We could just leave and do it. And so, you know, there's this subreddit called Digital Nomads. I don't know if that's like a big movement or anything, but, you know, the idea is that you just travel and work. And I was looking at the pictures, and they were like, oh, this is going to be where I work for the next 2 months. And it's like this beautiful, like, there's like a mountain, and they're on like a vista, and it looks amazing, and I'm like, I can just go do that. I want to go do that. So, anyway, that's in the works. And we need to figure out how all of that's going to work. I was freelancing for a couple of years, but I was also super depressed at that time and had no money. Super depressed, capitalized, I like that. Now my company realized we don't need to be in the office at all times, and I have some cash. It might be a possibility. Oh, okay. Having a partner on another continent is also a strong motivation. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I forgot that you were actually working in an office. Yeah, so, well, I mean, there you go, right? Like, I guess COVID has opened up that opportunity for a lot of people who are now working from home. And hopefully you have a company that now realizes that you can work from home, you know? Sensor Tower, the company that I work for, they had some people that were remote. Like, they have a lot of people working in, like, Latvia and Ukraine and stuff like that. The, you know, Slavic areas. And they had them working there for a long time. But they also had a lot of people working in the office in San Francisco. And when they were initially talking to me, they were like, hey, are you able to come to San Francisco, right? But now that this has happened, they, like, all of them are working, like, they all moved away. There is no San Francisco office anymore. And they don't have plans on just returning to a central location. They're actually planning on, like, these smaller hubs around the world. And so I'm like, you know, if I can keep just working from home and do what I'm doing, but from a different place, like, why the heck not, you know? We're done with Toronto. We're going to go spend, like, the next plan is that we're going to go back to our hometown so we can spend time with family before we go traveling the world. But, like, once we get our vaccinations and things start opening up, what's stopping us? Nothing. Nothing is stopping us. I need to get some more water right now. I haven't talked this continuously in a long time. My throat, I'm actually kind of feeling it. Oh, do you see how long my hair is? I don't know if you can see it in that tiny window. I am not used to my hair being this long. Like, I'm a short hair guy. I've been a short hair guy my entire life. It's only been over the course of the last year that I've developed long hair. Fun fact, I don't really like traveling for the sake of traveling. I usually visit friends and sightsee as a secondary goal. Yeah, you know, that's fair. It's, I don't know, for us, I think it is more of a sightseeing thing for us. Like, we really just want to see the world, and we don't have friends around the world, to be honest, so that's part of it. I guess we're kind of hoping to make friends while we travel. There's some people, like, we have some people in the far reaches of Canada. Well, now you have friends? Yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. You're in Germany right now, right? I would love to visit Germany. Yeah, I'll come to Germany. Absolutely. Like, we want to see pretty much every country in that area. Shelby especially wants to go to France because she speaks French. Great, yeah, there you go. We're gonna go. I'll come see you in Germany, no problem. And definitely in the UK. I know there's a lot of listeners in the UK I could go see, but What was I talking about? Oh yeah, sightseeing. Yeah, we want to see the sights. Like we're interested in there's all, I don't know, like I'm a big history guy, so there's also like a lot of history places I want to go to. Like for theater, like I would love to go to Greece and see that kind of thing. I would love to go to Poland, actually. Yeah, Poland. I was just about to say, you just mentioned that there. Like, go to the Holocaust or the Auschwitz would be really cool. The museum, I guess, is what you would call it. Yeah. So anyway, like really any place in the world, we just want to see it. And then after that point, we'll know where we like to be, and hopefully we'll have friends around the world, and there you go, right? So anyway, yes, this is my quarantine fashion. Yeah, I had the hair is usually short, and then when COVID hit, obviously I stopped going to the hairdresser. And then, what? After that point, Shelby cut my hair once. I went to, or I didn't go anywhere. I sat at this table that's right behind me, sat in the chair, and for 3 hours, Shelby looked at a YouTube tutorial and cut my hair. And she did a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. I was very hesitant for a while there about her cutting my hair. I didn't trust the non-trained hairdresser. But she complained enough about my not lack of trust in her, so I said, okay, let's do it. Nobody's gonna see me with a bad haircut anyway. And it came out pretty good. Yeah, came out nicely. And it's hair and it grows back. That's exactly the justification that I gave myself. And, you know, it grew out, like, it grows out and it's no problem. And nobody sees me anyway. This is the first time I've been on camera in ages. So, it was 2 years ago. Sorry. Oh, I made a joke long time ago that I can only cut my hair once I see my partner in person again. It was 2 years ago. Oh, no. Oh, geez. So, yeah, you must have really long hair now. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Where is your partner, by the way? Incidentally. Yeah, the whole haircutting thing is wild. I'm excited to get my hair cut finally. Shelby likes my long hair. I have, like, really dense, curly hair. Not curly right now, but it's usually curly. By the way, still have zero idea of what's happening on this run. I've been on autopilot this entire time. I didn't even know I had half these items. She likes my really long hair, so it's been nice for her. But for me, it's been, like, horrible. Houston, Texas. Oh, man, that's quite a ways. Oh, man, are we still on this floor? How long have we been here? Oh, my God. Okay. Houston... Oh, you loved it there. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I've only been to America once. I went in January of last year, 2020, to do my conference, where I spoke at that conference. And we went to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Apparently, you need to go on autopilot to beat the game. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I'm not going to beat the game on autopilot, unfortunately. I'm just going to make my way to the end and then inevitably lose on the last boss fight. You reminded me about conventions. I miss them. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I've been to a lot of conventions because of theater. There's this Ontario convention called... Ontario is the province that I'm in. And there's a theater... I guess it's kind of a convention. It's more like a giant audition. It's called Ontario Presents. And the idea is that people around Canada will come to... Wow, that's horrible damage. People will come to Ontario to audition for a bunch of theater heads across Ontario. So, you know, basically, how do I say this? Performers from across Ontario will come to Ontario. No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm losing my words. There's performers and they're auditioning to people who run theaters. That's the long and the short of it. And it's like really quick. Like it's like a 90-minute thing, and there will be like 8 acts, and they'll all have these really elaborate sets and whatnot. And as a technician, it's a lot of fun because you got to learn how to like transition them really fast, and you get to see a lot of fun stuff. And you're working from like 8 a.m. to midnight. It was always a wild gig. But what was I saying? Oh, anyway, so that was the conference that I was always most acquainted with. Hold on, we're gonna take a little break from the game here because I've totally lost my train of thought on this stupid thing. I died and then I didn't even register for 2 seconds. So there was this theater convention that I always went to, and I did it for like 3 years, 4 years. And Shelby, eventually I managed to bring her on as an admin person. So I was doing the technician stuff behind the scenes, getting the acts all the way through, and then Shelby was like responsible for some of the marketing and the raffle and facilitating the movement of all of these people. So we did those conferences. Are there any others that I did? No, I don't think so. I think it was mostly that. And that would be like in a new city every single year. And that was always fun. And then I did my convention where I was a speaker. So I've kind of been all over the place. I guess I just haven't like made a convention yet. Oh, yeah, anyway, there you go. I got a table on a bunch of Comic-Cons. Nice excuse to visit faraway places. Yeah, there you go. That's fun. Finally caught you live. Love listening to your show every day, multiple times here. Oh, thank you so much, Citadel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for joining us here. We're just kind of hanging out with the Binding of Isaac. It's I'm failing. I'm barely paying attention to what's going on. It's all muscle memory at this point. And also, my throat is sore. I don't know if you can hear it, but like, I have to drink this water. I haven't talked to this continuously in so long. Maybe I need to slow my roll here. I should have like tea or something to calm the throat. Yeah, it's rough on the vocal cords. You're right. Man, oh man. I'm still just gonna take a little bit of a break here because the game takes a lot of mental energy. Every time I go back to it, I remember how much effort it is. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. For me, I think it depends on the game that I'm playing. Like for something like this now, I'm so focused on like talking. But when I play something like Slay the Spire, I'm like so focused on like actually trying to win. The game is it depends. It's nicer if you stream with somebody, I think. If you have like a multiplayer game going. I remember I've streamed with Kato a couple of times. And it was nice because I would be able to stream for way longer. I could talk, and then he would talk, and my vocal cords would rest. Wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. You get to see my house. I don't know how often I show it off on camera. This is a one-bedroom. It's kind of a one-bedroom. It's kind of a bachelor's. So this is our main area. You can see we have our kitchen here. This is our eating table. And then we got the fridge there. And that's the entrance to our house. There's a door right there. And that is our bedroom. There. You see some light emanating from it because the windows are open. And it's a nice place to live. Like, this is our basement apartment. It's really dark, so there's not a lot of natural light. But we have a tremendous landlord. It's a bachelor's that is, like, roomy. You know, I have room for this desk. We've got lots of stuff in the bedroom that we have room for. And we love living here. But there's a couple of problems. I need an office now. And Shelby needs the natural light. Like, she hates the basement. And we want to move back home. So, we're moving back home soon. Like, probably next month, unfortunately. Okay, let's play some more Binding of Isaac, shall we? Living without natural light is no fun. You are absolutely correct. It's, I don't know. I can live with it, because it's like, it feels like I'm in a little cave playing my games, but I'm not playing as Samson again. You know what? I'm going to choose the character this time around. Let's try and choose the character. Let's see if we can actually get, Mother fight done. We'll do some fun stuff with that. Apollyon? We could do Apollyon. We could do Eden. I haven't done Eden in a long time. Let's do Eden. Please check your vitamin D levels. Is that a thing when you live in a basement? I have no idea what that's about. Oh, I got burpy. I'm sorry if you could hear that in the mic. My apologies. Might be the reason of your terrible memory? What? So, hold on. Are you saying I'm in a basement, which means I need more vitamin D? Oh, I guess because there's no sunlight. And then I have a terrible memory from not enough vitamin D? Is that what you're saying? I feel like an explanation is coming. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the natural light will be good for me then if we move out. Or when we move out. Okay, I don't know what Meat Cleaver does. Yeah, that did something. Oh, I think this chops the heads off of the, or chops them in half or something, right? Yeah. I think we would rather have the fortune cookie, in which we can potentially get spirit hearts. If we explain it to you, it won't help? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Rickets is caused by a lack of... Okay, can you explain to me what rickets is? I'm not informed on the issues that I have caused to my body by living in a basement apartment. Human body needs sunlight to synthesize vitamin D. Most, if not all, of colder climates people, that's me, a colder climate person, have some sort of deficiency and have to supplement it a lot. Yes, okay, actually, I did know about that a little bit because my friend lives in northern Canada in a province or a territory called the Yukon. And I think people in the Yukon have to take vitamin D supplements or something like that, especially because at certain times of the year, they just don't get a lot of sunlight. And then at other times of the year, they just only have sunlight. And you living in your basement, I suspect your vitamin D is in negatives. Oh. This is good information, Krim. I should perhaps look into the whole... I should look into the whole vitamin D situation. I think we might have vitamin... No, Shelby bought like fiber or something like that. Or iron pills, that's what it was. Because Shelby is a vegetarian, and apparently vegetarians need more iron than... Or like need iron supplements. I don't know. I hear about all these things quite in a cursory fashion, usually from her mother. Okay, so I need to look into vitamin D. It can cause low mood, sleepiness, fatigue, and a bunch of stuff. Well, that would explain some things. Jeez, Krim. You saving my life here? I mean, I've been pretty good lately. I think most of my low mood, quote-unquote, capital L, capital M, was from school, to be honest. But the fatigue and everything... okay, well, there you go. Okay, what the heck are we doing here? I need to... Okay, we're good. We're good. We're in a good spot so far. Eden, we got a good Eden start, which is good. Thank you for the link, Raven Dark. I will definitely follow up on that. You know what? I'll follow up on it right now. Why do I need to be that streamer that just only plays video games? Let's look at it. Fade over back to my face. Video gaming leads to surge in rickets. Oh, okay, so lack of vitamin D. Fair enough. It can lead to rickets once associated with poverty in Victorian Britain. That's a yikes for me. Now making a comeback. Rickets, which can leave sufferers with bowed legs and fragile bones, excuse me, can affect children of all ages from just a few months old through to teenagers. Deficiency has also been linked to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. Wow. Well, okay, so that's something to look into, I suppose. Fair enough. Local gamer learns how to take care of himself, finally. That's me. I mean, I don't know. You're okay. Fair enough. Maybe I should pay attention to it then. Because this is something that, I don't know, I've been forcing myself to leave the house a lot more than I used to. You know, like, when I was a teenager, I didn't leave the house. I left for school, so I guess that was pretty good. But as soon as I came home, like, that was it. I was on my computer or I was on my games, and that's all I did. And, maybe that affected me in some way. Jodie Foster played Nell, based on a true story of a girl found in the woods who had rickets. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm gonna have to look into this whole rickets thing. Okay, we're gonna try and go for Mother, so I'm gonna take the alternate path this time. And we have a pretty good setup so far. We got a lot of health, got enough damage. Hopefully we'll survive. Speaking of leaving the house, I'm going climbing. Yeah, you're a climber. I forgot about that. That's great. Okay, thanks for being here, Raven Dark. That's great. You do look like a fragile Victorian child, Krim. That's so mean. But it's also so true. Yes, I am often compared to a middle school boy. Extremely skinny. Clothes which are actually from middle school, not these ones. But if you go look in my wardrobe, you will see clothes that are from middle school, and I can prove it with pictures that I was in middle school when I wore those shirts, and I continue to wear them. Which doesn't help the whole aesthetic that I'm going for. Shelby has very much been trying to replace my wardrobe. Both of these things were part of that. But your observation is apt. Let's put it that way. I'm quite lanky. Which is like also like it's I don't know. I mean, I do know why, I guess, but like the way I live my lifestyle should not have led me to this body type. Like, I sit on my butt all day and I eat like a maniac. I will eat so much food in a day. So, I don't know, I must have really good metabolism or something, because one of these days, it's gonna catch up to me. And I'm hoping to get ahead of that curve by, like, exercising now and getting fit now, instead of, yeah, there you go. It catches up to you once you turn 30. I was one step ahead of you there. It caught up to my dad, and he was just like me. You know, I think that's why. It's because I get it from my dad, and it definitely caught up to him. So, yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of it, instead of, you know, living this life of sitting on my butt all day. Okay, we can only choose one item room. I'm gonna go with the top one, because why not? Oh, Gimpy, let's go. That'll be nice. Oh, and we got another key. Perfect. Let's see what we get here. Game Kid. You know, I'm fine with the spacebar item we have, so let's try this. Odd Mushroom. Let's go. Okay, we got a good run going now. I'm content with this one. We might actually win. We can go to the... We could... Okay, hold on. Let's start with this. We're going to turn into a ghost. Get our coins. Now that we have flight. We're going to go to the Mirror Realm. Actually, let's start here. Okay. Get out of the way. There we go. Okay, let's go to the Mirror Realm. And I need to focus right now because if I get hit twice, okay, and I just got hit once. If I get hit twice, the run is done. And I have a good run going, so I don't want to lose it. Please? Okay. Oh no, I forgot about you. Stop. Okay. All right. We're living. We're living. We're good. It's hit twice per room, so I'm going to go in here. Okay, now I got another 2 hits. There's my first one. Oh no. Please don't let me die. It happened. I tried to focus, and it didn't work. That sucks. We had a good run going. That's okay. The nice thing about Eden is, yeah, perfection. I know, right? You started focusing on the game, and now you fail. You know what? Your theory is maybe right. Your theory is maybe right. It's okay. We're Eden, so we're just going to get some other fun run going here, hopefully. Okay, this should be good. What the heck were we talking about before I just royally screwed myself? Oh, my lanky body. That's right. The metabolism catching up to me. Yeah, anyway. I don't know. I'm hoping to get into some exercising more. Shelby and I were actually talking about this yesterday. Yeah, and vitamin D, yeah. I think part of getting the vitamin D is that I actually have to go outside, which I've been doing a little bit of. Every single day I go for like a 45-minute walk at least. And I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to have to do that today. But then the other part of it is like, you know, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just walking, which is good. It's a good start. But at some point last year, Shelby and I were actually running. We were learning how to be runners. And we don't want to do that in the winter. It's horrible in the winter. And the winter here is just slushy and gross and disgusting. You don't want to run in that. And obviously the gyms were not a safe place to be. But when we're running outside, you know, we have a nice little community that we live in right now. And anyway, I've been thinking about getting back into that. My biggest problem with running, I'll just be totally honest, my biggest problem with exercising is not the exercising. It's the boredom. Like, I get so bored when I'm just running. Like, what the heck like, I have headphones in and I'm listening to, like, a podcast or something. But, like, eventually you get a little bored of the podcast. You know, and I don't want to listen to like I tried listening to like a history podcast, Hardcore History. It's a fantastic podcast. I'm a huge fan of that. But like when you're running, you don't want to listen to some dude talking about history. So then I try like, you know, upbeat music, but then the upbeat music just like, I don't know, it's like it doesn't do anything for me. It's like a nice beat, but I can't just sit there and listen to music. Like right now, I would not be able to just lay down and listen to music. That's not the type of person I am. I need to be doing something with the music. And so running is not enough for me to also do with the music. Yes, running is so desperately boring, yeah. I love my stationary bike because I can break a sweat and watch videos at the same time. That's a wonderful idea. Play my Switch if it's the right game. I mean, we have no space for anything like a stationary bike, but we, I don't know, if we ever take exercising seriously, that might be a potential in the future because I'm big on that train. Like, if I could play games while I'm running, I would run forever. I've seen some streamers do, like exercising while they play games. Or, I guess not even just while they play games. Yeah, there you go, Krim. Do some exercise streams. Oh, every time you die, you make 5 push-ups. Oh. I'm not going to do that right now. You might want me to do that right now, but I'm not going to do that right now. To be honest, I'm just going to be perfectly transparent here. Not even sure I know how to do a proper push-up. No, we got soy milk. Oh my god. So this is what soy milk looks like if you haven't seen this game. Super high frame rate, or super high tier rate. Seems good, extreme damage down, and it did improve in Repentance with the new expansion. It used to be a lot worse than it is now, but I still have not won a run with soy milk. So this will hopefully, we'll see how this goes. No, I'm not doing push-ups every time I die. As I was saying, I do not know how to do push-ups. I'm pretty sure the last time I did a push-up was in middle school, when they forced us to do push-ups as part of the warm-up. And you know when they would be like, here's your warm-up, and they would list it, and it would be like, you know, 15 push-ups, 10 burpees, 10 sit-ups, run around the room 5 times. You know, like, the entire class just, like, cheated when they did that, right? Like, you only did, like, a few of those things. And then, you know, you pretended like you did it all. But I didn't have, like, I pretended, but I was still, like, totally winded at the end of it, so it seemed like I actually did do the whole warm-up. When in reality, I was just, like, I was not fit at all. Do sit-ups, then. I'm not doing sit-ups. Do you want to be transparent or just glass? No, I would like to be transparent. Thank you. Anyway, so... Oh, yeah, exercising. I've seen some fun exercise things. Like, I saw a running app where, like, you literally have, like, an audio running away from zombies. I don't know how this boss works. It would be like, you know, it would tell you, like, the zombies are getting close, you gotta run faster or something. And it was, like, gamified. And I think that's pretty interesting. Like, I saw some people saying that helped offset some of their boredom. But yeah, I'm with you, Krim. I don't believe that there's such a thing as a fun exercise. The only thing I will say that I noticed... Hold on, I have to figure out what I'm doing here. I think I would rather have the angel room. We haven't gone for the devil rooms yet, but... What I've learned is that with the new expansion, if I don't have a lot of health, I'm just gonna die if I take a devil room. What the heck was I saying? About exercising? Oh yeah, when I was running last year... I did it for, like, I think I talked about it on the show. I did it for, like, 6 weeks, something like that. Like, a pretty hefty amount of time. And it was amazing how all of a sudden, like, I would just, like, run up the street for, like, a quick thing, you know? Or I would sprint randomly or something. And, like, these days, if I do that, I'm just gonna get winded. Like, if I run to the other side of my block, I'm gonna be so out of breath and in so much pain. But after I had just done some running for 6 weeks, I was able to do that, and I was fine. That was a really nice feeling. I haven't used my spacebar item at all. I should really use my spacebar item. Okay. Little Odd Mushroom is not going to help me here because that's a tears up. And I don't need any more tears up. And I think it's even, like, it has another negative associated with it. Flatworm is kind of nice, I think. That'll... No, I literally can't do more tears. I think I'm at a max capacity here. I think it just won't do anything. So I think we need to do this. Mystery Egg. That said sacrificial insemination, and I hate those two words together. No, it doesn't scale infinitely, unfortunately. That might have changed in Repentance, but I do know that as of before this expansion, soy milk was like the max that you could go. I'm scared to ask what the sacrificial insemination is. I actually don't know what this egg does. I'm pretty sure it's been in the game for like 10 years. I have no memory of what this item does. And that will happen to me sometimes, where I just have zero memory of these things. Let it stay that way. Yeah, fair enough. I think it might activate when I get hit. Yeah, I don't know. That was like we were talking about travel earlier. Like I think the exercise bit is going to be a lot more natural when we start traveling and seeing the world. We're going to be a lot more likely to like want to go on hikes and visit trails and, you know, go into the backwoods of a random country, you know, and get lost or something. Like that's like something I've always wanted to do. Ever since I was a kid, I've grown up, I've dreamed of doing that kind of thing. And so, you know, the more we do that, the more we're gonna exercise naturally, right? Hopefully. Anyway, I hate this boss. I think it's pretty easy, but I hate this boss. Now you gotta start running, because it's... Oh, never mind. Gotta start running at some point, because the spike starts knocking you out. There it is. I just remembered Risk of Rain, which is an amazing roguelite. Hold on, I can't look at that message, because I gotta avoid these... Okay. Please, don't take damage. Okay. Oh, we didn't get the Angel Room, which sucks. Risk of Rain, which is an amazing roguelike, and their items scale almost infinitely, which leads to some crazy runs. I haven't played Risk of Rain. I do know of both of them. I know about the first one and the second one. But I haven't actually played it. And I would like to one day. I definitely would like to. I gotta get up, switch laundry, and run some errands. Have a great stream, Mr. Observer. No problem. Thank you so much for being here, Citadel. It's greatly appreciated. Laundry. Yeah, you gotta do some laundry. I think we just finished our laundry, actually. I was gonna say I have to do some laundry, but I don't. That was one of the first things that we did after graduating, was actually do laundry. Because we've been living without... Like we've had clean clothes, but we've been living without doing laundry for a couple of months because school was just annoying. You go ahead and do your laundry, Krim. That's no problem. Laundry is an important thing, you know? It's one of the... I hate laundry. Like, I hate laundry. I hate laundry because there's certain things that are consistent. Like, making dinner, I have to do that every other day. Doing the dishes, I gotta do that every time you make dinner, basically. Sometimes I delay it. But those are consistent. Groceries, you gotta do it once a week. You always know. But with laundry, I mean, some people have systematized their laundry, so they do it like every week or something. But I have not done that. We do it like... We overflow our basket for way too long. And... Our living... You know, we're fine. Like, we have a lot of clothes, so we end up living fine. But it's really annoying because we just have so much laundry to do. And then when we do the laundry, it's like this huge thing. Thank God I had those 2 bombs, by the way. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. I like laundry because a machine does it for me, and dealing with clean clothes is nice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's... The machine... Like, if I had a dishwasher, my life would be... I would save so much time in my life. Dishes, on the other hand, take time. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Listen. I need to transition again here. I have been continuously drinking water for apparently 2 hours we've been streaming, which is absolutely wild. I gotta go pee. So I'm gonna be right back. We'll take a 2-minute break. I'm just gonna pop up the little message here, and I'm gonna say bathroom break. And then I'm gonna pop this over. You like that little animation I've made? I'm really proud of that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Gonna do my fancy transition again. Oh, that's the wrong one. I just like a good excuse to use it. I took like an entire day to make that thing, and then I never used it. Like, I was just doing like fun branding stuff for the Observer, which doesn't really matter because the Observer is an audio format. And I don't usually stream on Twitch. This is kind of an exception. But I don't know, maybe we should do it a little more consistently. And anyway, I was thinking about doing Twitch more often, so I wanted some kind of cool transition. And I came up with that. I learned how to use After Effects. I learned how to use. And then it was actually nice. I learned how to use After Effects, and then pretty soon after, I had to use After Effects in one of my classes. One of my, what class was it? It was projections. I had to learn how to use After Effects and design something. So, I actually made a music video in After Effects, which was weird. I thought you would normally use Premiere for that sort of thing. But anyway, I was grateful that I had made this stinger transition now because I knew how the program worked. The thing with Adobe, though, is you can kind of just, like... Once you've used one Adobe program, you can usually make the transition fairly easy. Oh, thank you, Krim. I love After Effects. It's so fun to make things move. Yeah, and then you use, like, easy ease, and, you know, it goes in nice and smooth and exits nice and smooth. It's a very satisfying thing. I've always had, like, an attraction to video editing in general. When I was in high school, we did some, you know, I had a few film classes, and I was always the one that volunteered to edit because, I mean, A, I was usually the only one with a proper computer that could edit something, but B, like, I had a lot of fun doing it. Like, it's almost like you're making your own story when you're editing, which could be totally different from what the director was envisioning, could be the same, but you kind of have control over the pacing and what it looks like and everything. And I always had a lot of fun with that. And so, you know, when I look at YouTube video essays or documentaries or anything like that that have a very distinct aesthetic with the animations and with the visuals and the color palette and stuff like that stuff is really cool to me. And I've always tried to play around with it, and I've never really been all that successful. You know, it takes a lot of knowledge and training and whatnot that I just don't have. You know, I'm thinking about something like NoClip, which is the video game documentaries, and he always has very distinct aesthetics for all of the things that he makes. And I love that stuff. Like, I love the work that he puts into that, and I would love to be able to do something like that myself. Just takes a lot of work. And, anyway, so I started learning After Effects just because it's kind of up my alley. I started doing video ads for my company on my own because I wanted to learn, and it stuck. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I remember seeing some of those ads. I just noticed the amount of spiders you accumulate, and I am concerned. I forget which item that's from. Oh, that's from, if you see this little blue guy right in this... Oh, my mouse isn't showing. Never mind. There's my list of items on the right there. There's that little blue fly. I think that's what's generate the spiders. Spiders can be really good if you get a lot of combinations. Did I go to the item room yet? Is that what Magic 8 Ball was? No, that must have been the boss reward. So anyway, yeah, so I learned After Effects for that. I learned Premiere in high school because I wanted to be a YouTuber. Like, I wanted to be a YouTube Let's Player in high school. And so I was like, I need to know how to video edit because I wanted to have all the fancy pop-ups and everything. Oh, here's another spider item. That's perfect. Yeah, I may as well take it. Infestation. And I don't think we need the habit because I've barely been using this spacebar item. But maybe I should be using this spacebar item, so I'm just going to take it. I can't do Premiere to save my life. It's so hard to understand. Oh, really? I find it easier than After Effects. I think it's, I mean, I don't know. I guess After Effects works with keyframes a lot more, and that's kind of easy to understand, but... yeah, I mean, Premiere was the first thing I learned, right? Actually, Photoshop was the first Adobe thing that I learned. And I learned that when I was in, like, primary school, basically. I've had a computer ever since I was a kid. I've always been allowed to use it, and my mom worked for a classified... Well, not classified. She did... It was called the Penny Saver. It was... I don't really know what do you call it? It's like... I guess it kind of was like the classifieds, where people could submit the things that they wanted to sell to a physical magazine, and then you would browse that magazine and, you know, buy things. But it was all like... It was like, you know, eBay or Kijiji or Craigslist. And then... So she had Photoshop for all that stuff. And InDesign. I never used InDesign, but she taught me how to use Photoshop when I was a kid. And that came, like, super in handy when I got older. Like, knowing how to use Photoshop is a huge skill. That comes in handy for a lot of things. The timeline and video layers in After Effects is very similar to Photoshop, so it's just easier to transfer. Okay, that's fair, yeah. I don't, like, obviously I don't use Photoshop for any kind of art or anything like that, but I used it for just general photo editing, any of your needs. And I've learned more over the years, for sure, but I think... I would say my Adobe knowledge is basic on pretty much all programs. Like, I wouldn't even call my knowledge intermediate, but I know how to Google my problems really easily. Like, once you learn your way around an Adobe program, you know, and then you can do the Googling to figure out how the whole thing is supposed to work. You know, you're in a better spot that way. You know what I learned recently, too, was... what's it called? It's the one that you make flyers with. InDesign? Is that it? I think it's InDesign. We, for school, so every single year at my school, my professional knowledge is panic, Google, and clicking around. Yeah, that's exactly it. So every year at my university, they give you a call twice a year, which is basically like, you know, hey, we put on a bunch of theater shows every year. We're going to give you a role as if you were working in an actual theater. And that's going to be one of your courses, basically. So you're not sitting down in class, you're actually doing something that you would do in the real world. And one of those options, or one of those roles, was audience relations. And one of the sub-roles of audience relations is to make the program that appears when people come into the theater, right? They get their program, they see who the actors are, who worked on the show. Okay, we're just going to choose left, I guess. I was upset about soy milk, okay? Now we got chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. Oh, it works! Oh, they made an integration. Thank God. They made a synergy. Oh, this is so much better. Okay. This is actually a good synergy now. So originally, chocolate milk is a charge-up shot. So instead of continuously shooting, you have to charge it up and lob like a big one. And so when you got soy milk and chocolate milk at the same time, you would charge up a really tiny tier that would do so little damage, because usually you use soy milk as like a barrage of bullets. But now they've made a synergy so that it's just a tears down and a damage up, which is a nice synergy to have. I legit, if this was the old synergy, this would have been a lost run. It would have been done. Thank God they did that. Holy moly. So this might actually be a good thing now, this chocolate milk. We'll see. All right, what the heck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so every single year they give you a call. One of those things is to make the program. And I was given that call. I actually asked for it because it's a little bit less work than the other roles, and I was staying at home, and I needed a role that I could do from home. So I knew Adobe program, so I was like, I'll make the program. I'll do audience relations. And so for that, I learned InDesign. And it was kind of nice because the guy who had the role before me, for the first time in the program, had set up like a bunch of templates. And so I really didn't even have to do that much learning of the program, because I was just copy and pasting the template that he made. And, you know, I could go from there. Okay, here's another explanation of what's going on. This is in order to get to the new boss, you have to collect the key pieces. Part of that was going through the mirror realm. This is the other part of that. We're going to get the second key piece. And so we got to travel through these mines, and then at the end, we're going to be chased by an evil bad guy, and he's going to chase us out of here. And it gets rid of all of our stats. Like, we don't have soy milk anymore. It's basically just like a little mini challenge within the game. Fun story about my first video game job. I was hired to make textures for 3D game models. I know nothing about how to do it, but I had Photoshop and enthusiasm on my side. Oh. Man, you got hired for that. That would be so scary to me. Like, if I got hired for... I mean, I know that that's what a lot of people do, right? Is they'll apply and they'll get jobs for skills that they aren't necessarily, like, super experts in or even are not knowledgeable at all. That would put the fear of God in my heart. Like, I'm so terrified to do anything that I don't already know and haven't learned. Like, in theater, it was fine. Like, I could be on site, there would be people there teaching me what to do, and then the next time I did the job, I would understand it better, right? But, you know, any other job that was, like, normal for a teenager, because working in theater was not normal for a teenager. Even just, like, retail work, I'm terrified of, because I've never done it. I did one. I worked at Walmart for a month, and then I ended up quitting because it was interfering with my theater work too much, because theater work was basically just my job instead of doing a retail job. But I worked at Walmart for a month, and it was fine. Like, it was fine. But I'm also, like, still, like, if I was ever in a position in life again where, where I had to work retail again, I would be terrified, because that's such a skill set, you know? Like, I have so much respect for the people that do those jobs, because it just takes so much effort and so much mental energy and, you know, like, certainly, like, skills that you're not going to learn anywhere else. These customer success roles that are, I don't know. Anyway, those are the kinds of things I don't have ingrained in me as somebody who worked at it as a teenager, right? That's something that Shelby had. She worked at McDonald's for like 3 years. You know, that she has the confidence for that kind of thing. And now she works in a bookstore. You were scared, but it was a dream job, so I spent 3 nights Googling, and half a year later, I was training people on how to do it. Okay, fair enough. That's good. Yeah. It's definitely, like, if you can find yourself in the right position with the right people, it's always good to challenge yourself and try something new and do it with confidence, right? Like, obviously, don't lie about anything, but just, you know, put your best foot forward, and in the end, that's going to be the best thing, right? Like, when I started in my current job, I was pretty clear with them, like, I'm working in the mobile games space right now, as are you, Krim. I know nothing about mobile games, like, when I was hired. Like, nothing. I knew, like, about bigger games, like Diablo Immortal, or, like, any of the traditional games that were crossing over into mobile. I knew about those. But I didn't know about mobile games. And I had to be very clear about that. I had to be like, you know, I know about mobile games, but not really. And, you know, now over time I've learned, and I can train people on it, right? I can tell people about the mobile games industry. Same thing with a lot of other things that I'm doing in my job right now. Like, I had to be very upfront about my skill set, which was not very large. But, you know, I told them I'm gonna learn. I'm really good at Googling. I'm, you know, whatever, and I learned, and I did it quick, and it was scary for a long time, but now here we are. That's why I tell people who want to get into games jobs to just do it. They have to train you anyway. There is no textbooks or pipelines. Every game is figuring out their own tools and ways. Yeah, that's true. It's also very specific to people and companies, right? Like there is no textbook. Like, okay, so I know the theater industry, right? Like, that's my thing. There is no book that's going to teach you how to work in theater. And there's no single company that's going to teach you to work in theater overall. There's so many different aspects of it. So much of it relies on personalities and people. You just, like, the only reason why I was able to work in theater was because I just did it. You know? Like, I volunteered first, and then the person who... Oh, I'm gonna die. Ah, rats. I volunteered, and then the person who was in charge of the volunteering was like, hey, I found about this job. You would be perfect for it. And, you know, went from there. And it's gonna change no matter what. It's gonna change. Anyway. I've been streaming for 2 hours. 2 and 15 minutes. It is actually way longer than I expected to go. Crimson and everybody else that showed up, thank you so much for being here. It's greatly appreciated. My throat hurts. It's like sore. I need to go make myself a tea. I need to do this more often so that my throat gets used to it. I have my tonsils out, which is nice. It might be a lot worse if I had my tonsils in. Yeah, thank you, Krim. It was greatly appreciated. I'm going to throw this up on YouTube, just because it's a fun thing to do. And, I don't know, maybe I'll set up a schedule for streaming on the weekends. I like doing it in the morning. It could go in the afternoons, too. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for being here. I'm going to shove this over to the other screen where it doesn't say bathroom break, but it says, thanks for being here. And, Grim, I'm going to ask my mom to find the Grinch costume. And I'm going to get back to you about that thing we've been messaging about, the emotes. I was going to talk to Shelby last night, and I totally forgot, so we'll get there eventually. Okay, thanks for being here, and farewell.